Hello, dear ones. I heard about a psychiatrist in Bali who was helping people in remote villages who were mentally ill. Apparently, in Bali, there are still places where consciousness is quite primitive. And if a family had somebody who was mentally ill, they would literally chain them to a tree. They didn't know what else to do with them. And some of these poor people have been chained for 10 years. Horrible, archaic way of dealing with mental illness. And this psychiatrist would go to these villages and he would give these people medications that would stabilize them. And he would train their families to continue to give them those medications. And he would literally unchain them from the trees so they had a new life. And above and beyond the kindness of this act, I thought it was symbolic of a lot of us because we're all chained to some tree, are we not? Some fear, some guilt, some history, some sense of sin, some sense of unworthiness, sense of oppression by other people or the outer world. And we're prisoners of fear in some ways. And then someone comes along who says, let me unlock your chains, my friend. Could be a great spiritual master like a Jesus or a Buddha, Muhammad, Moses, Lao Tzu. Could be a mentor, a friend, a lover, a child, a pet. God sends us people who can unlock our chains and give us a new life. And for those people, we can be very, very grateful. When I was in my early teens, I lived in a pretty bad situation, a really horrible neighborhood with lots of crime, and it's a pretty bad scene. And I had some friends that were not healthy influences on me. And I had lots of fear and unworthiness issues, didn't like the way I looked, didn't think I was attractive. And I received an invitation in the mail to come to a brunch at a synagogue. And I didn't want to go, but something inside me said go. And I went. And I met a youth director there, a young rabbi, who gave an inspired speech. And my heart opened. And this was a man who had a uniquely loving relationship with God. He didn't relate to a God of guilt and punishment, but he was divinely connected. And he saw good in me, and he took me under his wing. He became my big brother for years. And he said, Alan, you should run for the president of the youth group. And I did, and I won. And he said, you should give this speech, and you should lead this prayer. And he was constantly stretching me to go beyond my old limits. And I blossomed in his presence. He was such a loving, positive influence on me. Changed my entire life. My whole friendships upgraded to healthy, happy, rewarding friendships with good people. And so he was the guy who came and unlocked my chain, and I'm forever grateful to him. I became a much more free person after that. Of course, there have been many teachers that have come along and done that with me. And I want to suggest to you that you too have people who have unlocked your chains or are trying to now. You know, Course in Miracles is a chain unlocker. And people who love you are chain unlockers. People who see the best in you and believe in you for who you are instead of who you have been or you're afraid you might be. Someone said that a friend who is someone who sees through you and enjoys the view. So anybody who loves you for who you are is getting you out of that, off of that tree and into a new life. Now the other side of the coin is that you have the power and actually responsibility to be that for other people. You can free them from their fear, free them from their guilt. just by seeing them as whole. And so Joseph Campbell, the great mythologist, talked about the hero's journey. And he said we go through trials and challenges and we emerge with lessons. It's a long journey, but it works. He's accurate in his assessment. And he said that after you've gained the gift of the hero's journey, the Holy Grail, if you will, the chalice, so then it's your responsibility to come back and deliver the gift to the community. We don't learn and grow only for ourselves. Course in Miracles also tells us when I'm healed, I am not healed alone. So your freedom is now the freedom of others when you tell them how you got free. And this is one of the benefits of great programs like 12-step programs where you have a sponsor. And someone who's struggling with an addiction is mentored by somebody who has overcome that addiction. So the sponsor, the mentor, is unlocking the key of the chain of the person who is still addicted. So you can't just get healed and run off and you can enjoy yourself, of course, but you have to pass your healing along to the world. And that's what all spiritual teaching really is. So I'd like to do a little meditation with you that I found very, very touching. It's a poem I received many years ago. I'll kind of paraphrase it and underscore the power of unconditional love and the power of people who unlock your chains by seeing the best in you. So shall we have a little go at it? So close your eyes if you're in a place where you can. And take a breath. And we're going to say some suggestions now of different people who are touching your life, or whose lives you have touched. And I'd like you to just absorb the gifts of those relationships, the giving and receiving gifts of those relationships. So close your eyes if you would and take a breath. And just be with me with each of these statements. Right now, someone is thinking of you. So take a moment to consider who might be thinking of you. That you're not alone. Right now, someone is loving you. Who loves you from close or afar? And even if you can't think of a lot of people, you might be able to think of one or two or three, and that's enough. And if I can't think of anybody else, think of me. I'm loving you, sending you love right now. Through the ethers, through the mind of God, through the heart of God. Right now, someone cares about you. Who comes to mind? Right now, someone wants to help you. Who is that? And if you can't think of a person, think of Jesus or any spiritual master who wants to deliver to you freedom in your own way, his own way, her own way. Right now, someone believes in you. Who believes in you? Whose face comes to mind or whose name comes to mind? I believe in you. There are others. There are probably many. Right now, someone forgives you. Wow. Right now you've been carrying guilt that's a burden to you because you've imposed it on yourself. And meanwhile, another person has released you. So the guilt is self-created. And even if there are other people who haven't released you, you have the power to release yourself. But I'm sure there's someone who forgives you when you haven't forgiven yourself. Who forgives you? Right now, someone's life is better because of you. Someone's life is better because of you. Maybe there are lots of lives that are better because of you. Maybe you're a teacher, or a healer, or a leader. I coach many people who regret not having children, and I say, you know, you have lots of children. There's many people you've helped. Or you have artistic creations, music, art, writing, dance. They're your children. Right now, somebody's life is better because of you. Right now, someone lives because of you. Wow. Maybe you brought a child, the children into the world, you gave them life, the opportunity to explore and learn and grow spiritually and receive the wonders of the world and the lessons of the world. Or maybe there are people who have chosen to continue to live because of you. Maybe a kindly conversation, or a pat on the shoulder, or a hug, or a forgiving or encouraging word has stimulated someone to continue to live when they were considering otherwise. Wow, you never know. I hear from so many people that someone changed their life and that someone didn't even know it at the time. Right now, someone lives because of you. Right now, someone is succeeding because of you. Someone's life has gone to a new level. They have found a relationship or a better relationship or a job or income or health. They're succeeding because of you. Who's that? Maybe there are many. Right now, someone is healed because of you. Maybe you're a health practitioner, a psychologist, a massage therapist, energy worker, coach. Your efforts to heal somebody have succeeded. Of course, God is the only real healer, but God delivers healing through people. People are channels of blessing and healing. Right now, God has used you as a channel for healing and blessing. Wow. there any greater honor in life than to make someone else's life better? I don't think there is. Right now, someone loves and accepts you just as you are. Who's that? Right now, someone sees the good in you and the innocence in you, even when you may not have been seeing it yourself. That's the gift of a lifetime. Who loves you just as you are, right now, right here, right where you stand? Oh, if that's a chain getting off the tree, that's it right there. Right now, somebody loves and accepts you just as you are. So take another moment in your own way, in your own mind, to think about who's out there who is sending you good and gratitude. Right now, someone is praying for you. Who's praying for you? And think also about the lives you've touched. It goes both ways, doesn't it? People have freed you, and you have freed others. That's the great cycle of life, cycle of healing. Ask your inner being, ask your inner spirit if there's anything else your spirit wants you to know today about the value you bring to life and how much life values you. What does your inner being say to you about this? And so we'll start to close our time together for now, but if you wish to stay in this meditative state, this appreciative state, please do. The state of forgiveness and release, please do. If you have some time, it can be with yourself or be in nature or journal or do some prayer, meditation, or anything that allows these profound insights to sink into your soul. Take some time, take care of yourself, self-nurture today, and recognize the value of your life. It's huge. And so we come back to that very gracious, compassionate, graceful psychiatrist who was opening the chains to remove people from the bondage that they've been in for a long time. And I say to you that you deserve this. You deserve freedom. You don't deserve to be chained anymore in any way, in any relationship or a living situation or a health situation or financial situation that feels like change to you. This is not the will of God. You do not deserve it. There are beings and people and energies that at this very moment are rushing to unlock the padlock on those chains that set you free. This is the gift of the grace of God that you deserve today. Thank God.